From Yarm to Yibby, Harrington to Horsley Hill, Swalwell to Silverlink. The North East Footy Breakfast
Was I
with
offside?
Roy, Steve and Ted.
Oh, jeez.
There we go. There we go. That'll wake him
Somebody
up.
knock that down his windpipe, please.
That's what I normally get shouted at on a Saturday afternoon.
Morning, lads.
I think it's followed by bark at me like a dog, I'll stick you in the kennel.
Yeah. I thought I was offside or I was waiting for VAR or something.
I thought he just got in from a rave.
Well, there you go.
Oh, that's some
Dave
healthcare money.
the
to
Rave.
watch, like.
Yes, that's
There's
an
the new
image.
nickname. Radio
Dave
Down.
There's already one in
Dave the
Sunderland,
Rave.
I'm afraid. That's already commandeered by someone else in
just
in
tough.
the fine city of Fulwell.
Oh, right. Okay. I thought you were talking about that other one for the derby.
Oh, good weekend, Steve.
God.
I enjoyed it, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, me too, mate. Me too.
Back to winning ways for Newcastle, despite it being against 10 men and young Lewis Miley getting a goal at last.
Good to
Yeah,
see, wasn't it?
all good, mate. All good in the black and white camp this morning.
Yep, not too bad over in the Red Town as well. I think we travelled down to a tough Swansea team and, just do what we do, just win football games. What about you, Ted? Good weekend, mate?
All I heard there was gap, gappity, gap, mind the gap, gappity, gap,
Getting smaller, mate.
still got a gap.
Getting very
You
small.
can get tablets for that, Dave.
Yeah.
Rub some cream on it.
I've seen them on the internet.
It was, well, you know what my weekend was like. It was,
it
all
was
started on
interesting.
Friday afternoon. We're going to get into the
mate.
Sunderland Christmas. It is obviously a holy time, Christmas, and Sunderland did provide us with a holy trinity. Reportedly close to Michael Beale. Then they give 6,000 tickets to the Geordies. 700 hospitality, by the way.
Yeah, hospitality as well.
Very
Displacing
nice.
hundreds.
Black Cat's Lounge.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Displacing hundreds of season ticket holders in the process, obviously, taking a crap on the supporter from a great height, and then an absolute toothless, gutless performance against Bristol as well. So, yeah, it was great. I had the
On your
time of
band
my
your
life.
flag as well. The band your flag.
Yeah, the banjo
Yes,
flag.
yes,
Yeah,
they
they
did.
was there.
Yeah,
They took the money, but they want to do it.
I'm including that on taking a crap on the supporters from a great height. That was kind of that was all encapsulated in that little part there. Mrs. Ted knew there was a problem because normally she works night shift, you see. Normally around about midnight, that's about as late as I go. Normally I send a little message saying I'm off to bed now, have a good night, blah blah blah. But she knew there was an issue when she saw me post on the Sunderland fans page at around about 1 a.m. She knew that all was not well in Ted's mind. I went on a big
Might
rant,
work
which
the
I was
double shift.
you lads know. I think you lads read it as well.
I have, yeah.
Rye was actually amazed
Oh,
that
yeah.
I knew some words.
It was very articulated. You can tell he's angry
Thank
because the
you.
words get longer and well written. You know what I mean?
That's actually true. That is very true with me in an argument as well. The posher I get, the more you're in trouble. You know.
I can tell the posture.
So, yeah.
I'm like, oh, he's angry.
It was so articulated, it looked like a lorry. That's all I can say.
Yes, I turned into a cunning linguist, and it was
Phew. I'm glad you got that one right.
what? No, absolutely me as well.
Listeners, I've got to let you into a little secret here, right? Such has been the past couple of days that Sunderland have had. Today was meant to be Steve's show, right? But there is so much Sunderland stuff going on that we said,
True.
Ted, it's all yours.
You have it, Ted. You have it. Yeah,
And you know what? The three of us are just going to disappear now. One's going to go to bed in Australia. We're just
we're
going to
gonna-
put the kettle on. And Ted's going to talk for 2 hours.
Rye's going sleepy
and a
bobos.
We'll come back in and give you the borough headlines and all that, and then we'll just chop back in. But today it's all Ted, listeners. I'm sorry. He's got.
I'll give you a nudge.
it's Ted's
I'll give you a
show.
nudge at 8 o'clock, Rye.
But there is a silver lining, Ted. You made some nice Scotch eggs, mate. That's for one.
You did. They
and
look
for
good.
two, I know
did.
you're really looking forward to it. Today we introduce You Are the Ref.
Yes.
Yes.
This has me
The new
worried
game.
because obviously everybody thinks they know the rules.
Yep. Oh, look, I went
Which
off
is
on
also
one.
part of a...
I could just go to
That's
VAR,
also
right?
part
Like
of a new
everyone else, though,
feature.
right? I'm pretty sure I can just go VAR.
doubtful.
I went off on one. I went off on one at the weekend because I've seen so much garbage coming in from managers. It just sent me into a tailspin. It really did, and there was no alcohol involved. I mean, very surprising.
This is true.
They just
This is true.
spout absolute
So much so,
garbage.
I created your own spot. So we've got the RDR spot, which is Radio Dad Rants. It's our new feature. Dave tells us who's got on his nerves over the weekend, and today I think it's Alan. It was Alan Sheehan who ripped your knitting over the weekend, wasn't
mate,
it?
absolutely, in a big way. He tore it. Knit and pearl at a time, I'm telling you.
Thinks he knows the rules, that
So we
man.
got that. Oh,
2 letters away from being Alan Shearer. That's what he should be focusing on.
I know he talks all right, Alan Shearer. I've corrected him once on air. Good lad. He's a good lad.
Having a mad
Alan
takeover
Sheehan.
now. Shea Gibbons on the on the sofa now on Match of the Day. Ian Wright's gone.
Jermaine-
Shea Gibbons in.
Oh, yeah, saw
Jermaine
that.
Genus
Yeah.
or Genus sitting on the couch on the one show. I mean, it's a Blum and Geordie takeover.
That's the biggest
It is.
travesty of justice ever. Like this. I think one thing that unites Newcastle and Sunderland fans is a genuine displeasure over anything Jermaine Genus is near.
Oh, I'll tell you what, he's heavily tipped to take over from Lineker on Match of the Day. If he does that,
Hope not.
it's at least a 50% drop in viewing figures, I'm telling you.
The only way they're going to get viewers to that is if they put Kieran Dyer on. If it's just Genus and Dyer, I reckon. Put the Kieran Dyer, Jermaine Genus show on, and I'm tuning in every morning. That's the only thing that's going to get me viewing into that, though.
The only thing
Well,
that's
Could
Because
get
if
Lee
you
Bowyer
get
on, and they could get Lee Bowyer on. They could cover boxing
With
Celebrity
boxing gloves.
Deathmatch.
Tell you what, if they do stick Genus on Match of the Day, they're going to have to pay me for a TV licence.
Honestly, surely they won't go down that line, will there? I mean, he's
Nah.
beige, isn't he? As far as the crack's concerned.
He's the blue-eyed boy in the BBC. But since when have the BBC had taste and decency
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
and impartiality?
That's a line of questioning I'd rather not go down on my views of the BBC, but there you go.
They could do a boxing show. They could. And they could have a UFC spotlight and get Rahul Jimenez in after that flying knee on the weekend. What a fight.
Brilliant
Did you
tackle,
see
mate.
that, lads?
Brilliant tackle. Brilliant
Oh.
tackle. For
Jimenez, mate. What the flying
I thought he
knee.
got the ball like.
He got TKO. I gave him TKO round 1. I had him in round 2. It was cradled. I thought
Some
Longstaff was
level
going to put up
Mortal
more of a fight, though. Yeah. I really did. I thought Longstaff was going to be. I thought he's right into it. You know, and he started off, the round very nice little, throw at the start there, and then but that flying knee coming from about 10 meters away, incredible.
I think it was the hip. I think it was the hip job that did it. He took his head off.
You see Longstaff's head
Taken out by the pelvis.
Oh my God, the poor bloke. Jesus.
Speaking of boxing, obviously I shared that little thing with you yesterday. Obviously, me and Steve have an appreciation of a certain arena in the Hortonley Spring area. The idea of putting on a match that Sunderland and Newcastle fans can attend together for 50 quid each and unlimited beer. Yeah, exactly.
All they need is one of those.
That's a bit.
All they need is one of those machines, with the thing that you punch, like just placed in the venue
absolutely.
as well.
But that ball would be quickly replaced with somebody's head, wouldn't it? I mean,
Exactly.
once they get the beer down the necks, what the hell?
just a terrible
There's going to be
idea.
a
I mean-
mushroom cloud going up.
It's a cracking
Yeah.
venue for boxing, as me and Steve discussed yesterday. Steve's put up many a show there. I've been there as a fan of boxing as well. And I think that's maybe, the limitations of their fighting prowess should be maybe limited to that. But yeah, that surely can't go ahead. That's madness. Absolute madness. 50 quid all you can drink.
Crazy. Can I just congratulate Arsenal fans as well? Yesterday was a special anniversary, day 43 of them whinging about the goal at St James's Park. Yeah, day 43 in a whole thread on Twitter still going on about this goal, and honestly, unbelievable. I mean, what on earth? Is that what the whole season's based on?
It's embarrassing.
Oh, will be. If they don't win the league, it'll all be on that.
There he is.
A disgrace.
Thanks for
It's a
tuning in
disgrace.
again, Mikel.
Disgrace,
Good to have you on the
Cheers,
show.
Mikel.
Yeah, you got it wrong. Mikel, I'm sorry, it doesn't hold water.
It's embarrassing. It's a disgrace. That's what it is. A disgrace.
It's disgusting, isn't it? I know. I
Are they
agree.
genuinely still whinging about it?
Yeah,
Of course they
I
will.
mean, 40 43 days now. We're actually counting the days, me and Mitch now at NUFC Matters, and it's crazy. Unbelievable.
Literally top of the table, 39 points, and still worried about that one. Yep.
But the worst of it is, because he got off scot-free, he can start somehow claiming that's a moral victory over the decision.
Of course,
doctor. I'm asking.
Well, that's the thing as well, because he goes unpunished. He thinks he hasn't done anything wrong. So
so you can do it again and again and again.
Hey?
Yeah, you didn't do me last time. You can't do me this time.
Yeah, exactly. Now any manager comes out and says what they want about your crew.
That's
it.
Yeah.
Crazy. Crazy.
Nah.
Did you see Roy Keane's rant last night as well? Did you see Keano's rant about Virgil van Dijk being arrogant?
Yes.
No, I didn't see that. Missed it.
Because Van Dijk said Man United will be, they're delighted with the point, and there's only one team turned up to play football, and Man United, they're basically saying Man United parked the bus.
Yeah.
And Keano was not happy with the response, saying it was just sheer arrogance from him, and there's times when Liverpool have went to Man United and eked out a draw, and they've been delighted with it, because everybody goes through good and bad times, I guess. But I don't know, did any of you lads watch the match yesterday? I didn't personally. I was in the kitchen with me pinny on.
It was like watching paint dry. It was, those games are either absolute classics or they're an absolute bore draw, and that's what we got yesterday. Even the chances weren't, there were half-cut chances yesterday, defenders getting in the way. Fair play to Manchester United. They went there with a game plan. I actually stuck Melly Barnes' watch-along on with his mate Gary, who he started talking turf with, and it was funny watching Melly getting all excited when Man United were getting through. It was even funnier that they were watching it. It was like a 10-second delay, so I was dying for Liverpool to score, so I could go in the chat and go 1-0, and have a wind
give it away.
But my solitary comment, apart from introducing me to the fact that I was there watching with him and giving him a bit of support, was mind the gap at the end of the game, which was satisfactory, because there's never a week goes by when if Man United overtake Newcastle, I don't get a text off Melly within 10 seconds at the end of the game. So it was a nice it was a sweet moment of revenge, which he said he took, so that was good. But the game didn't live up to expectations. I mean, and of course, any network such as Sky builds it up, which is their job, to try and pull you in to watch it. And the build up was more exciting than the game itself. That was probably the best way to describe it.
So you reckon I made the right decision by keeping my head stuck in spreadsheets all weekend then?
Yep.
I mean,
you know how to live the Villa game, don't you?
Oh, I know how to live, mate. I know how to live.
You should have gone cruising coffee shops looking for Rishi Sunak. He was in your manor, wasn't he, Dave?
What was that?
I'm saying you should have gone cruising coffee shops.
Hang on, there's 500,000 of you talking. What about me?
I said you should have gone cruising coffee shops to go and find Rishi Sunak.
Oh, well, there you go. He came looking for me, but I wasn't going to give him the pleasure of me turning up, so I'm quite happy he, was just touring Yarm High Street coffee shops looking for me.
Oh, wow.
Left the Prime Minister standing and waiting. I'm pleased about that. I don't mind.
Good on you.
Yeah,
well done.
You live in a posh place like Dave. I mean, even the postbox has got a knitted hat.
I know.
I was quite
Did you like my photo? You're stalking me on social media, mate.
It's fine, I take an interest in what's going on.
Good.
I couldn't help notice your formula was incorrect on your Excel spreadsheet, but I'll put that right for you later, mate.
Mate, I hope it isn't. It was a big pitch I was pushing for. I've just made myself bankrupt if the formula's wrong.
Oh, no. Okay. Today's our last show. Thanks for being... Thanks, guys. It's been a good run. We've done our best.
Speaking of an incorrect formula, should we have the three of us put our headlines together?
Here we
Let's
go.
do it.
And there's only one place to start.
Oh, is there?
Mackems and Proud. Black Cats News.
Sit back.
Yeah, good morning,
Floor is
Sunderland
yours.
fans. Where to start after this weekend? Shut up, right, here we go. Anger, frustration, unacceptable, moments of complete and utter madness. They were the words from Mike Dodds after defeat at Ashton Gate on Saturday. If, as expected, Sunderland's defeat at Bristol City does turn out to be Mike Dodds' swan song as interim head coach, he did not hold back in his post-match press conference. His previous 2 games in charge had seen the Black Cats earn impressive home victories against West Brom and automatic promotion hopefuls Leeds United. However, the lads were wasteful in front of goal yet again and conceded a blatant penalty due to sloppy play at the back, resulting in Anthony Patterson upending Robbins, Taylor, Gardner-Hickman and Tommy Conroy converted from the spot. As you've no doubt heard, Sky Sports claimed on Sky Sports, not Sky Spots. That's a different kind of thing. Sky Sports claimed on Friday that Sunderland are close to appointing former QPR and Rangers head coach Michael Beale to replace Tony Mowbray. The prospective announcement has been met with a very mixed response by fans who feel that a move for Beale, who was last sacked by Glasgow Rangers while taking them to third place in the SPL, which is traditionally a two-horse race, isn't any better than what the club had in Tony Mowbray, and even fear it may be a backward step. Nothing official from Sunderland Football Club themselves just yet, but it's thought a new man will be in the dugout in time for the visit of Coventry City this weekend. And finally, popular football website Team Talk has claimed 3 Premier League heavyweights are ready to go up against Real Madrid in order to secure the signature of Jobe Bellingham. Leaving Sunderland for the Premier League would be a strong pull for Bellingham, and while Black Cats will clearly have a high valuation of the player, this won't be a problem for those competing at the top end of the top flight. Liverpool are the side most in need of a holding midfielder and were a long admirer of his brother Jude before his move to Real Madrid, and may see Jobe as a worthy alternative and a long-term option to deputise in the middle of the pitch. Both Liverpool and Arsenal are likely to be competing in the Champions League next season, whereas Chelsea, the other suitor, may have their work cut out to break into the top 4 over the next 5 or so months. This could well influence Bellingham's decision if it's needed, but regardless, it will be hard for Sunderland to keep him at the stadium light if a bid comes in. And them's your headlines.
Smoggies and Proud. Borough News.
Good morning, you beautiful Borough fans. We are back, baby. Woohoo! Just come to the kitchen and see the Borough are cooking now, ready for tea. As Ted says, Beale's the main man for me. I love it. I wrote that one myself, I did. Middlesbrough got back to winning ways with a scrappy 2-1 victory over Swansea in Wales on Saturday. In what can only be described as the rains down in Africa, the slip and slide affair was decided with a pass back to Swansea keeper, which was then picked up, resulting in an indirect free kick. Then the great Aussie Sammy Silvera finished with a low shot after the setup from Rodgers and completed the 2-1 victory after another magnificent Sam Greenwood, who's from Sunderland, by the way, finished earlier in the game. The only worry came from the game was the 90th minute substitution for Seny Dieng. The keeper fell over whilst taking a goal kick and could not continue with what looked like a right thigh issue. To add to Middlesbrough's concerning list of injuries, there is once again a call up for the big Aussie Rye to come over and play in goals against Port Vale, which I said yes. And Michael Carrick has told Callum Kavanagh he'll be in business if the young striker continues his prolific goal-scoring form. Young striker has impressed for Middlesbrough's under-21s and scored every goal in a 4-0 win at Crystal Palace last week, with his dazzling show rewarded with his first team call-up this weekend against Swansea. Kavanagh, who's the son of Borough midfielder Graham, was included on the bench, and the striker didn't get on the pitch, but Carrick said the youngster would have benefited enormously with just being involved with the matchday squad. And just finally, Middlesbrough could be set to hand January lifeline to out of favour Nottingham Forest defender Joe Worrell. Heavily linked with the Borough are now keen to pose an initial loan deal for Worrell in January, with they prepared to turn that into the permanent switch if they go on to secure promotion from the Championship this season. Them's your Borough headlines. We back, baby. Up the Borough.
Magpies and Proud. Mags News.
Good morning, Newcastle United fans. Big day today. Tickets go on sale for the Sunderland-Newcastle FA Cup match on the 6th of January at the Stadium of Light. And the tickets go on sale at 10 o'clock this morning. You have to have a season ticket loyalty points of 45. That will drop at 4 o'clock today. So don't miss out. Tickets have been set at £32 for adults, and they've been set at £29 for under 22s, £24 for under 14s and under 16s, which is lower than we first expected, as the price that Sunderland had put forward originally was correctly rejected. As Ted mentioned in his headlines, we have been offered 6,000 tickets, 700 of which are in the Black Cats Lounge for corporates, and it is a bubble game, so Newcastle fans will be travelling on excess of 70 double-decker buses in convoy down to Wearside in January, so looking forward to that. As for the football, well, Newcastle made it 7 home wins out of 7 with a comprehensive 3-0 win against 10-man Fulham. Raul Jimenez was sent off in the 22nd minute for a foul on Longstaff. Fulham were upset at the decision, suggesting Lascelles should have been punished for an elbow in the build-up to the incident. It took the home side 57 minutes to break the Cottagers down, and it was Lewis Miley with a cool finish to give his team the lead, and in the process becoming the youngest player to score for the Toon in the Premier League. Further goals from Dan Burn and Miggy Almiron rounded off the win. 3 points though may have come at a cost, with both Fabian Schär and Joe Linton being withdrawn with injuries. Eddie Howe will be assessing his players today ahead of the Carabao Cup quarter-final match at Chelsea tomorrow. There was some good news at the weekend with the return of Sven Botman, who managed a 6-minute sub role against Fulham. And Friday brought the news that Harvey Barnes and Joe Willock have had minor setbacks and won't return to the first team picture until January. And congratulations once again to Newcastle United's women, who had an emphatic 11-3, that's 11-3 home win against AFC Flyde yesterday. That's your Newcastle United headlines on Monday morning.
Ted, Rye and Steve, the North East Footy Breakfast.
Right across the North East, the Reds, the Cats and the Toon.
Ted, you mentioned Dodsey and what he had to say after the game. Shall we have a dabble?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's have a listen.
This is him after the Bristol defeat.
Yeah, and I think the disappointing thing, and I've just spoke to the players in there, the disappointing thing from my perspective was, a kind of 15-minute spell of just madness where they get caught up in the emotion of the game. They don't manage the momentum in the game well enough. It's ultimately cost us the game. We can sit here and talk around referee decisions. We can sit here and talk around, how many chances we created. The reality is we've lost the game 1-0. And I'm really disappointed. And we've got to dust ourselves off. There's lots of the performance that I liked, but there was also elements of the performance that I was really disappointed with.
There you go. There were his thoughts after the defeat, mate.
Well, it echoes
wild.
what the fans thought of it as well, because the lead up to their goal, you could see it was coming. To be honest,
Patterson's throw.
Again,
The poor kid.
Look, Patterson got played into bother, and he showed some immaturity in coming out and trying to sort of claim a ball. But when you prat about with the ball at the back the way they were doing, and again, I'm going to mention his name, Luke O'Nien. Luke O'Nien, about 5 minutes before that, sort of stabbed a pass across the front of the 18-yard box.
Yeah.
Put at pace. It was kind of like one of those that wasn't directional in any way. It wasn't to anyone. It was kind of, that's roughly in the direction the ball should go. And now, obviously, the fans got on his back, the players got on his back a little bit over that. The next pass he played was like sort of what I call a hospital pass. Steve will know what I mean by that. I think it's generally a northeast term.
Yeah,
he
I know
plays
what you
a
mean.
hospital pass back to you know the kind, but it was just slightly
got him in
under
footy
pace.
Here.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so it was kind of one of those where Patterson almost has to come for it. But let's be honest, the Bristol City player knew exactly what he was doing. So the Bristol City player's taken he's just nudged the ball out the way gone over the keeper, which is what anybody else would do. Blatant penalty, no complaint from me whatsoever. And stuck the ball away. But it's that. I'm a big believer, yes, play out from the back by all means, and normally we do that very, very well. We get it to the full-backs. Full-backs will become those inverted full-backs and sort of tuck into midfield, and it looks nice, and we create opportunities by doing that. But let's not start by, having centre-backs playing like sort of 10, 12-yard passes across the line of the 18-yard box or under-hit passes back to the goalkeeper, he's a young lad. I can't get too angry with Pato because he's saved us more times than he's let us down. Absolutely, 100%. And he's improving all the time as well. He's only I think he's about 23, Pato. So in goalkeeping terms, he's still he's got about 6 or 7 years before he even hits his prime as a goalkeeper. So he'll learn from it, and it was a silly mistake. But this whole prattling about on the 18-yard line's got to stop. We've got to be more direct with our play coming out of the back because we're getting found out with it. And better teams than Bristol City, and that's no disrespect to them, better teams than Bristol City will punish us for that big time. But the wastefulness in front of goal, there was one where this kind of typifies the season in a way, where Paddy Roberts beat about 3 or 4 players, and I mean it was beautiful footwork,
Yeah, it was.
Absolutely, just incredible footwork, and then just sort of like. I don't know, didn't get his foot wrapped around the ball enough. He's got a sweet left foot on him normally. And it just sort of just goes out flat and wide of the goal. And you're kind of thinking,
the curler,
you've done the hard part.
So
So
I thought you were talking about the one where he got hit Jack Clark on the back post.
No. There was the shot that he had in the first half where he curled it inside, and it was just, to all intents and purposes, last season that would have been top corner, no doubt about it whatsoever. So it kind of sums up where we are right now with this kind of like toothless thing. There was some strange selection issues. I thought it was kind of a little bit head scratching that he initially started Jack Clark centrally. With Barr out on the left and Roberts on the right, which was a bit of a strange one. I mean, Dodsy's entitled to play the way he wants to play. He's just pulled out the bag 2 absolutely cracking results. But for me, Barr just, his decision making, he slows the whole attack down. It's 5 or 6 step overs, then he'll get the ball taken off him. And literally that's the way his game went. So I was surprised to see Barr actually last as long as he did on the pitch. It wasn't our normal flow. It took a while for Clark to get out on the left. And when we did, and when Barr went off, and we changed things up a bit, we looked better for it. Just toothless. And I don't know whether maybe some of the goings on from Friday kind of had an effect on the players as well. It's possible, because I mean, if I heard Michael Beale's potentially your new boss, then I'd be pretty gutted as well, to be honest. But that's just my opinion. Again, I mean, do you want me to go into the Michael Beale thing as well right now, or
do it?
Yeah,
I was going to ask you a question because obviously there's a lot of rumour flying around and speculation at the moment, and Beale is a rumour. We've had nothing confirmed from either side as far as I'm aware.
No,
but we're also hearing now counter rumour about the deal's off because he can't bring in his backroom staff. I mean, what are you reading into all of that?
Well, first of all, I mean, the rumour broke, and it was Keith Downey from Sky Sports who broke it, who's obviously a mag. But all the same, he's normally pretty reliable as far as sources are concerned. It broke on his Twitter, obviously, as an official Sky Sports post, I guess. And Sky Sports also reported as close as well. Closing in, it was all about reaching an agreement for him to take over. Beale, for me, I mean, a playing career that was cut short at 21. He's had 2 senior or head coach roles so far. He left QPR. He looked actually an up-and-coming coach. In fact, I think QPR were top of the championship when he left. But this is the same guy who was beating his chest saying, I want loyalty and I don't want anybody here who's not loyal to the club. He turned down the chance to go to Wolves. More loyalty. Oh, I'm going to Rangers. So clearly there ain't a massive amount of loyalty among them. He obviously went to Glasgow Rangers. Initially, he was obviously there. He was Stevie G's assistant. Now, to be honest, me and Steve in the studio could go up to Glasgow Rangers and probably win the league. To be fair, between the two of us, Steve, I reckon we'll have a good 100%. Chance of it. So I don't class that as something to put on the CV. He won a trophy or 2 up in Scotland as an assistant to Stevie G. But
it's a bit better than Billingham Cons, mate.
Well, is it?
I don't know.
Is the league better than that? I'm yet to be convinced of that one, Dave, to be honest, but there we go. Going to Glasgow Rangers to have the top job was clearly a step too far for him. Graham Souness said this yesterday. Graham Souness actually said the Sunderland job is too big for him. And to be honest, somebody of the stature in the game of Graham Souness needs to be listened to, because the guy knows what he's talking about. So yeah, the move to Scotland didn't prove a success at all. In his first season, he finished second behind Ange's Celtic. Then he eventually got fired 6 games into the following season with Rangers in third. I've took the mick out of this already. He had Rangers third in a 2-horse race. That takes a special kind of coach. That really does. So basically, if the rumours are true, Sunderland are kind of going for a cheap out-of-work option. As yet, he's unsuccessul. He's not what the fans were looking for. And basically on paper, and I listened to the 3 Legends on Friday. I do my research, Dave. It was a very interesting show. I listened, and Clarkey, in fact, the 3 lads actually all said the same thing. He is not an upgrade on Tony Mowbray. If anything, he's a downgrade.
No, he's not. Yeah, he's not. There's no way.
He's got a lack of credentials. He must be pinching himself with delight to be anywhere near the Sunderland job. It's an absolutely joke. I mean, that's, for me, if it's true, if he is appointed, that is the most unambitious appointment that Kirill Louis-Dreyfus could have made, and his little wooden puppet creation, Christian Speakman, as well. Because I'm just absolutely staggered that they would try and go for that.
Go on, Ted. Tell us. Tell it as it is. Say what you think.
I thought he sounded happy.
It is. Look. I've quoted this before from Brian Clough, that if you sack the manager, you should sack the man who hired him. And Speakman's going to be on, like, what is it, his third or fourth manager, and he's not doing the job. He is absolutely not doing the job. Michael Beale is not an upgrade on Tony Mowbray. He's not better than Tony Mowbray. There's an argument in place that Mowbray could have won, and again, Three Legends said this, he could have won those 2 games against West Brom and Leeds. There's absolutely nothing to suggest he couldn't have. And bringing in somebody like Beale, who apparently, and again I'm using air quotes, apparently wants to bring his own backroom team in, I would absolutely run for the hills at this point, because this is a massive, massive downgrade. And if you thought that was bad enough, so I'm reading that. I'm sort of, I'm getting little alerts, and I was on a little coffee break at work. I'm checking my phone, and literally I'm going, "Are you absolutely mental?" Imagine my absolute sheer delight at around 2 p.m. on the same day that obviously it appeared the Sunderland hierarchy hadn't quite finished with the fans just yet, because it was announced after that the careful negotiation, definitely in air quotes, but I've turned the 2 fingers around, Newcastle United will be given 6,000 tickets for the North Stand, which meant displacing hundreds of season ticket holders for the FA Cup game on January the 6th. And that negotiation was carried out apparently by the Chief Safety Officer, who's ex-Northumbria Police. I question his credentials if he thinks that it's safe to bring 6,000 Geordies to that stadium and think it's not going to kick off. Because I think that is a ridiculous number of fans to bring. I know, Steve, that not all fans are troublemakers or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I think with those sheer numbers, mate, I think that's a tinderbox waiting to go off. And I don't mean the dating website either. It's I don't think there'll be many matches that day.
They might kiss and make up, mate. You never know.
Other.
They might be on Tinder next week. They can kiss and make up.
The problem you've got is it's the FA Cup, lads.
I don't get it.
It's the FA Cup. You have to have you have to have a certain percentage of tickets, and I mean, that's the thing. It's not, I appreciate,
they increase the maximum allowed, Steve. That's the terminology here. But the thing is, what I can't understand from the club, and they're still being absolutely gutless and saying nothing about this whatsoever. By the way, there's been no statement from the club. There's been nothing to appease the fans' opinions. The fans' grievances against the club over this, because, right, great, 6,000 tickets, it's done now. They're on sale. There's going to be, and you will sell them out, because the one thing about Sunderland and Newcastle, and probably Middlesbrough to an extent as well.
What do you mean probably? What do you mean probably?
Their away following is magnificent, right? The 3 teams. Go on, I'll be inclusive. I'll be HR friendly.
Thank you.
The 3 teams will sell out their away quota. We could go down to the Emirates and say, Arsenal could turn around and say, right, lads, there's 20,000 tickets, have at it, we're not interested in turning up. Every single one of our teams would sell out our away allocation, not a problem. Right, but that's not the question that's at stake here. What I want to know is why that amount has been given to Newcastle when we would have sold out home allocation, and you've also really, really rattled your season ticket holders. There's people actually cancelling the part season tickets, and not only that, the club are actually cancelling part season tickets on the fans' behalf. So anybody who's basically living in an NE postcode, so that includes your likes of South Shields, it includes your likes of Washington, Bolton, places like that, where there are genuine Sunderland fans living, because of this sort of rule where you kind of, you've got to have some sort of season ticket history to be able to get tickets for the Newcastle game and all that kind of thing. They are worried that anyone living in an NE postcode is a Geordie in disguise. Well, tell you what, why don't you not give them 6,000 tickets, give them 2,000 and sell out your allocation to your home fans?
They can't be doing that.
It's absolutely
They
incredible.
can't be looking at an NE postcode and cancelling a half-season ticket.
I've seen written proof of this online, where they are cancelling purchases.
100%. Yeah, they are doing it. I mean, originally as well, I want to give a big shout out. I've just had a message as well from Sean, good pal of mine, who's a Sunderland fan, who was listening in for the first time. But we were originally going to get 2,500 tickets. That was the original proposal.
That's even more than we get.
And it was going to be £50 a ticket. £50 a ticket was the original suggestion, but due to the
that's absolutely insane.
So Newcastle United Supporters Club and Newcastle United Supporters Trust were involved in this. They were involved in all of the.
Steve, I don't like this, but that's incredible, lad.
Yeah, that was,
what I mean?
This is fact, lads. This is fact. And the supporters.
Imagine the amount of black and whites going in the bank asking for a loan. I want to buy a ticket to see the match.
So the Supporters Club and the Supporters Trust had meetings backwards and forwards, and the only reason that we got 6,000 tickets was because that's what the Supporters Clubs pushed for, and basically they agreed as long as we travelled down on the buses. So that bubble game has been, it's been used in other derbies. Swansea, Cardiff is an example, and
that's not come on. That's not even comparable.
It's not the first time that the police have used suggested this kind of method. So fair play to the Supporters Trust, the Supporters Club for sticking to their guns and saying we want these tickets. But I do agree with you. There'll always be a minority who will end up causing trouble. But in this day and age, if you do it, you're on camera, you're going to get caught. The advice is, just go and support your team and be safe. But, it is what it is now. As you say, it's been done. The tickets are on sale. There's nothing we can do, and we've just got to crack on, mate. And it's unfortunate for Sunderland fans who've been, relocated and asked to move. But if it goes to a replay, you'll be doing the same. And third round cup games go to replays. So you never know. You could get a draw. We might have to go through the whole scenario on the reverse.
which I've been to, and that is some sight coming up from Central Station. Like, it's incredible. It's
Did they used to?
I think it's one of the most.
And didn't they used to play neutral? Didn't they used to play neutral grounds if the replay was drawn many years ago? Imagine that coming down the riverside.
At least you'd sell it out.
Enjoy your third round action, mate. You won't be going any further.
To conclude my rant on this, though, a lot of the Sunderland fans, quite rightly so as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, not everybody agreed with what I've had to say about this on Friday. I've had some pelters.
I saw that.
Well, but
yeah,
there's a growing number of. I'd defend myself all right as well, though. I can take it. I'm
just
a big
whip
lad.
your Scotch eggs out, mate. That'll show.
That's it. Yeah, I'll shake my Scotch eggs at them. Yes, yeah. I can skin a sausage very fast. Look,
we're talking football here, mate. Come on.
Yeah, we are absolutely. Yeah. It just feels like we're being mugged off by the owners of the club, and that's the worst thing. We're in a position where we're back into the playoff areas. Dodsy's got the team playing well again against West Brom and Leeds, and you think, you know what, we might actually be heading in the right direction here. There's exciting coaches like Will Still being linked with the club and people like that, and you think, do you know what? It's like, all right, Mogger's gone, and that's a bitter pill because everybody loves him. But you think, okay, there's life goes on kind of thing. But then, just getting absolutely crapped upon from a great height with the decisions. These are the people who are meant to be the custodians of the club. They're supposed to have our best interest and the club's best interest at heart. Not one of them has come out to face the media or face the fans and actually say what's going on. People will say it's their business. They own the club. It's not really the fans' concern. It is the fans' concern.
Tell you what, mate.
We'll be here.
If they want to come onto the Reds, we'll give them an hour or two, however long they want. We'll do a show that they can come on and do.
Well,
we'll turn it over.
That's what I was leading to be honest.
SAFC, sure, you can have it.
At very least, the Sunderland fans are due some kind of statement. I know it won't be an apology or anything like that. They've stiffed them over the flag display. They've stiffed them over the tickets that basically we could have sold out. It looks like they might even stiff us over appointing a yes man and a puppet of some kind in terms of a head coach. And to be honest, the fans are clearly and understandably disgusted at the event. Now, I know the Geordies are going to say, it's a meltdown, a Mackem meltdown, and they're going to enjoy it. the one thing that we have still got Sunderland fans, we're not going to go punching any horses, and we won't be painting bed sheets and standing outside a sports shop. So at least there's always that.
Can't believe it, eh? In the same season, Borough beat you 4-0 as well.
I know.
Jeez.
That doesn't matter though. That doesn't matter. It's no derby.
Borough double.
You get beat off lesser sides sometimes. You get beat off lesser sides sometimes. There's still a gap.
Not for long. And if you choose the wrong one, mate, if it's in hands,
we're pots and pans.
There are 3 scenarios on You Are the Ref. You're going to choose
we're crap
one.
with a meltdown, but we're still better than Borough. I mean, how bad's that?
1, 2, or 3, and the gap is dealt with in one of them.
You get a lucky win against Swansea, and all of a sudden it's saved Carrick's job.
Babe, I need more popcorn. I've gone through it in the first 40 minutes. Sorry. Cheers.
Love it.
I've got a sore throat now. Can somebody say something for a bit?
I messaged Steve. I'm like, do you want a coffee? Let's go and grab one. We'll be back in a sec.
I've been out for a 10k run.
Shall we? Okay.
I've just seen the in-house studio chat now. You absolute sarcastic kids. I love working with you lot. I really do. Honestly.
Oh God, you poor
That was a good time to put out a recruitment ad, Dave.
Wow.
Do you need a break, mate?
Jeez.
Do you really need a break? Because we haven't done the sport.
No.
We've forgotten to do the sport at half past.
Well,
You're in full flow.
do you know what? We've still got What the Fact. I've still got What the Fact to do. We've got Steve's joke. We've got You're the Ref. I've got a whole reason. What do you want now?
I've got some nice theme. By the way, I've got some nice theme tune for You Are the Ref.
Just whistle while you work.
There you go.
Hey, I like it.
You like it?
Lovely.
Jeez.
A
little throwback.
Well, I decided to actually bring some realism in just after that, so you're going to have to wait. I'm going to keep it in suspenders. But just to give you an idea, just to set the scene before we move on, we have 3 on-the-field scenarios here. 1, Sunderland are playing Newcastle. 2, Borough are playing Sunderland. 3, Newcastle are playing Borough. You guys are going to have to choose 1, 2, or 3. So I've not rigged it. There are 3 different scenarios. Look, different sheets of paper. Listen. So,
Yep.
Well, when it comes
would be
to
remiss
it,
not to go Sunderland Newcastle with the news.
when it comes to it, you can choose 1, 2, or 3, and then that is the You Are the Ref you'll get. Now you can have 1 an hour, or you can just have 1 a show. Entirely up to you.
Okay.
I like this.
Very interesting.
Was this in Roy the Rovers? Was this in Roy the Rovers the first time round or something like that?
What was it in? Was it Shoot or Goal or something like that? That used to carry it.
It rings a bell. It definitely rings a bell.
I think it was Shoot magazine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great read, that man.
But when I'm going to read the scenario to you. I'm going to set the scene. I'm going to give you the incident, and you've got to make the decision between the 3 of you. It's you against me. I'm being as fair as I can.
Do it now.
3 against. Well, do you want to do it now?
Yeah, do it.
Bring it on.
I think we need to lighten up after that.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Bring us back together.
1, 2, or 3. So 1 is Sunderland playing Newcastle.
1.
2 is Borough playing Sunderland, and which does touch on Mind the Gap. And 3, Borough are playing Newcastle.
Definitely doesn't matter.
Oof. I reckon. What do you guys reckon?
Since it's
Go
Ted's
1?
show, we're gonna go.
Let Ted pick.
Ted, you go.
Oh, thank you, Steve. You're a gentleman, lad. Number 1.
You've had a bad weekend, kid.
Number 1. Here we go. And a bit of realism now on the theme tune. Bit of realism kicking in.
Ref! Yellow card in red! Referee, you're not watching the game, mate, you're watching me! How are these kids supposed to learn the game if you don't know the game? You ain't got a clue! Ref!
Thought I'd bring a bit of realism to it. So here we go then. Here we go. You Are the Ref, number 1, guys. And remember, not making a decision, not awarding something is actually making a decision. So I'm not saying you have to get involved and stop the game, because playing on and saying no foul and not giving any cards is as much of a decision as blowing your whistle. There you go. Sunderland are playing Newcastle in the FA Cup third round clash at the Stadium of Light. After 63 minutes, it's still goalless. Kieran Trippier Kieran Trippier has just received treatment and is standing off the field of play. He's about 12 yards from the halfway line inside the Newcastle half. He's just standing there waiting to return to the field of play. As he's standing there watching, Newcastle make a wayward pass. Jack Clark picks up possession of the ball near to the touchline, and he's got a clear run at goal. As he runs past Trippier, near to the touchline, Trippier steps onto the pitch and deliberately trips Clark to stop his promising counter-attack. What does the ref do?
Right, well, I've been in a situation in a cup final where I was the manager and I stepped onto the pitch and fouled somebody.
Why does this not surprise me?
I wish I was reffing. I was reffing.
So basically, their attacking player was flying down the wing on the left-hand side, and I was at the dugout, and I was out with view of the referee, and I stuck my foot out, and he tripped and went flying. And
you shouldn't be allowed back in football, mate. Shouldn't be allowed.
So basically, I was sent off, and everybody on the touchline was sent. Everybody else was sent outside of the technical area, behind the dugout, behind the fence area. So that was what happened with me, lads, because the referee knew that I'd committed the foul, even though it was unsighted. So I don't know if this helps us, lads. I don't know if this helps us.
Oh, dear doctor.
Oh, that's classic.
So I think...
I don't know whether I'm impressed or not.
We had a bit of beef with this team, lads, so that's my justification.
Get away.
And how did the aforementioned team manager trip him? In a violent way or not?
No, it was quite nice.
All right,
It was a casual foot. But but there's an example, lads, and the ref didn't see, but he assumed and sent me off. So
and the only thing I've got to say here is you've got to get it perfectly right, because refs have to. So that includes, does he blow the whistle? If he does, what does he award? And remember, he doesn't have to, because not blowing the whistle is the decision he's made on the incident. And then once he's blown his whistle, if he has, what does he do after that? Is there a punishment? And unless you're going to hear, "Ref, you haven't got a clue," you've got to get it spot on. Well, even if you get it spot on, you'll hear that anyway.
Can I have a bash? I'll take a wild stab at it. Okay, so
go on.
I think Trippier would be given a yellow card because obviously Clark's not clean through. He's not heading towards goal. He's going down the wing, I think you said. So he's not heading in the direction of the goal. So I think a yellow card for Trippier. But I don't think it's a free kick. For some reason, I've got it in my head that this would be a throw-in. So that's my guess. Throw-in to Sunderland.
I think my guess...
Yellow card.
My guess is on...
Ryan's guess is everybody should be sent off because it's not involving the borough.
Yeah. I think if I'm Jared Gillette, if I'm putting my shoes on, my ref shoes on, my hat in, I'm looking at that incident and then I'm going to Dan Neil and I'm red carding him. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I go and find Dan Neil on the field and I go, somehow you had something to do with this. Dissent, get off. And I send Dan Neil off. So once I've done that, I then go and address Kieran Trippier, right? And it's got to be. I mean, he's not allowed back on. He hasn't been on the field of play yet. He hasn't been. I haven't brought him back on yet. So he's off the field of play. So he can't do anything with. It's a red for Kieran Trippier. Has to be a red for Kieran Trippier
for tripping him
because he's not on the field of play.
For tripping.
Well, I would say it's a red card for bad sportsmanship. It's like
red card for bad sportsmanship.
Well, he's off the pitch. And then he hasn't been given permission to come back on the pitch.
Yeah,
he didn't say that.
Exactly.
So he has come back on the pitch on his own accord, and he has tripped Jack Clark, which is 2 offences. He's come back on the pitch without permission, and he's also tripped, which, fair enough, he may not be on goal, but he's tripped the player. So that maybe. Yeah,
I agree.
Maybe it would be that.
Yeah, completely and utterly agree. Plus the Dan Neil red card.
Well, I can tell you one of you is on the right lines. One of you.
Ooh.
No.
All right, it's got to be Ted then, because I agreed with Steve. What did you say, Ted? You reckon it's a yellow?
Don't take me that literally.
I thought a yellow card because Clark's not actually heading in the direction of the goal itself. He's going down the wing.
You're going on.
the thing is,
he's not denying an obvious goal scoring opportunity. That's what you're saying, aren't you?
But
that's where you're going.
He can't do anything with. No, it's got to be a red. He's off the pitch. As the referee, I haven't let him back on the field of play. I haven't said right. If I go righto, Trips come on, and then Jack Clark breaks away and does it right, then it's probably a yellow, I reckon. Because Trips is off the pitch completely, in traditional Steve Wraith style, as we now know it to be. He's done what's called a Steve Wraith in the local area now, right? Yes. And he's stuck his leg out and tripped Jack off from when he's off the pitch. And then he's probably just stood there like, I didn't do it, ref. What are you talking about? I was doing my shoelace up, waiting to come back on, ref. Like, it's got to be a red. Has to be.
You've got to come to a decision between you.
Oh, okay.
Between us?
All three.
Yeah, it's you against me.
Oh, no.
You 3 against me.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Right, lads, I got this.
It's
VAR.
not a red.
VAR.
It's not a red.
VAR. I throw it to VAR.
But he hasn't made. We haven't made a mistake with the decision yet, right?
That's why we have VAR. We don't need to.
Do you know what?
He said you don't have to make a decision. That's what I'm saying. We don't make a decision, and then VAR comes in our ears and goes, "Oh, you should probably stop the game." I'm like, "Oh."
I'm telling you what, fellas, you've taken so long over this. All 22 players are now involved in a mass sprawl. The 2 benches have come on. The Gatorade box has been poured over somebody's head, and the fans are now wading into each other. You've taken that one.
He said one of you is close.
Oh, look, don't read literally into that. I mean,
he said one of you is close,
right,
and then you
said to do a different player just because he's Jared Gillette.
But then
Steve wants a straight red, and Ted wants to throw in with a yellow card.
He says it can't be us because we agree. But then he said don't take us literally. So that means it's either you or me, right?
Right, let's go with the majority. Let's go with your idea, Steve.
So let's sort this out. So you're saying, what does the ref do first? Does he blow for something or not?
Well, he stops the game.
Okay, so he stops the game.
Yeah, agreed.
Second point is
he books Trippier for coming back on the pitch without permission.
So he books Trippier
so he gets a yellow card for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I'm with that.
And what else? You've then got to decide.
He gets another yellow card for the foul and gets sent off.
Yeah. And then what's he going to start?
Do you know what? That's a good shout, Steve.
How's he going to restart the game? What with?
Drop ball.
Throw in.
Okay, we'll go with
a red card.
Has the ball gone out though?
No, because he was just tackled on the run, wasn't he? Closer to the. So the ball would have just run.
Started with a drop ball. Is it a drop ball? Is that what they do, or do they kick the ball back?
Jack Clark free kick, wouldn't it? Jack Clark free kick. No,
free kick outside the area. Free kick outside the area.
Because you're saying he got yellow. He yellowed him for the trip, and then he's yellowed him for not being on the pitch. But the first yellow, you'd have to pay the free kick for that offence, right? So it's a free kick Sunderland where he was tripped.
Yeah.
You agree with that then? We're locking it in?
Yeah, locking it in.
And then we go to VAR.
So he's gonna give a free kick, you're saying? What type of free kick?
Yep.
Indirect free kick?
Indirect, yep.
Okay. And that's it. Okay. You are...
And Daniel dissent.
You are... Daniel for dissent, have you heard him? You are very close.
Oh, get in.
Oh. Get in. Give us the
very close. However, I can't give you a round of applause because one of the things you've stated is massively incorrect, and the ref would get done by a ref's assessor.
Go on then.
The Dan Neil thing?
No, he would be applauded for that. This comes under Law 12, Fouls and Misconduct.
Oh, no.
Where 2 separate cautionable offences are committed, even if they're in very close proximity, they would result in 2 cautions. For example, if a player enters the field of play without the required permission and commits a reckless tackle or stops a promising attack with a foul or a handball. So, referee blows his whistle, stops the game. He cautions Kieran Trippier for entering the field without permission. He then gives Kieran Trippier a second caution for breaking up Jack Clark's promising attack, which equals red. So he sends off Kieran Trippier. But because he has tripped the player, it's a penal offence. And he must restart the game with a direct free kick.
Hey, we did well, lads.
We did.
I'll give you a bit of that. I'll give you a bit of that. But not a lot.
I mean, Sunderland would have called in on the Monday show and said, you know what, Steve Wraith and Rye and Ted, good refs. Good refs.
However,
that's what they would have said.
However, you've just taken 13 minutes and the fans have gone home.
Nah, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Right? VAR takes 20, so we're fine. We're fine. You know what I mean? We got it. There was enough time to play 2 adverts for the Reds, the morning breakfast show. That's what we needed to do. We were just putting enough time up there so they could play the ads during the VAR time. All right? That's all we were doing.
Speaking of VAR, where's my VAR song?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we've got to do that, haven't we? I've got my voice back now. I can record my bits. I had no voice last week. I had this bloomin' stupid thing for 4 weeks.
I sent mine to Daz, but I didn't hear anything. I've sent mine to Daz, but I didn't get anything back. So I hope he got it.
Look, no, I've got my voice back. I'm still full of snot, but I've got my voice back. So I'll do my bit, and then we'll get Daz to work on it.
Okay.
All right.
To be out before
Next few days,
lads.
it's going to be out. Next few days, it's going to be out.
Good stuff.
Worked hard on that.
Yeah. Well, it was like me with you.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Before we go to the news, then should we do my first clue for what the fact?
What's the
okay.
fact?
It's Michael Beale.
Yes, indeed.
No, it's Mario Balotelli.
Mario Balotelli? Michael Beale?
I'm waiting for the music.
I
don't even know where is the music.
Goodness.
Oh,
Michael
really?
Beale.
No.
Really? Well, we're going to do it a cappella, are we?
Just messing with you.
It's Ted.
Michael Beale. 6,000 tickets. Michael Beale.
Michael Beale.
6,000 tickets.
What the fuck?
6,000 tickets. With the Michael Beale on side.
Silence, pray silence. Your first clue, you know how it works now. I have an amazing fact. It is an amazing fact. I'm going to give you 4 clues. You have to guess what the fact is. Your first clue is, don't lose your head, Anne.
What?
Don't lose your head, Anne.
Anne.
A-N-N-E.
Okay.
Alpha November Echo.
Phonetic alphabet.
Don't lose your head, Anne.
Anne.
That is your first clue.
So it's got
You'll
something
not
to do
get
with
it
the
off
West
the
Brom.
first
It's got something to do with West Ham, the old ground, the Berlin ground.
clue. Yes. See, nice and easy, this one.
Very clever, Dave. I was thinking Michael Beale's wife's name's Anne.
What, he's going to chop her head off?
Could be question of sports because Princess Anne was on it and it's finished now.
Could be. Could be.
Very clever.
Princess
Very
Anne
clever.
was good on that, actually. I remember that.
I would think he'll go more a football line though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always football. It'll always be football.
And doesn't kick the round ball. What you might do in his spare time. How do we know? Okay then, don't lose your head, Anne.
Nice.
Don't lose your head.
Anne. Is it Alpha November Echo or Alpha November?
Oh,
I think he said Echo.
Oh, hey. 2 seconds, that's a...
Oh no.
Really
Oh no.
He's Googling it. He's Googling it. He said you couldn't
He's Googling it.
He's Googling it. Yeah.
I should have checked this earlier. Yes, it is Alpha It is Alpha November Echo.
Roger.
Okay.
Roger.
All right. Gotcha. Roger.
No,
Roger that.
Not Roger.
Even
Roger's
worse.
got bugger all to do with it.
Tally ho. I think it's time for the news, boys. Should we do
It
it?
is.
Should we do a bit of news? Put the
Let's
end.
get it.
Why not?
Put an end to this nonsense. Let's get back to something sensible. Here we go. We'll be back after this. Oh, I'm telling you, guys. I'm telling you, an absolute Christmas banger.
Christmas.
That's the one,
is
isn't it?
here.
That's the one that just.
I think so.
You're
I
in
can imagine
Christmas
Rye
mood.
doing that last bit.
Yeah, definitely.
You know that it's
I could.
Christmas screamy bit.
That
Yeah.
one. Yeah. Go on, Ryan. Go
Yeah.
on, Ryan.
Yeah.
But better than that. Yeah.
Yeah, I could.
Thanks, mate.
I can't. I've got a baby asleep, but I would.
Let's get him into trouble with
so
I've
these.
been in
Recovered.
trouble. I was in
I
trouble
see,
for
I
this.
see.
I'm still in trouble for the Sammy Silvera goal, so I've got to play my cards right. Right, we've got Port Vale very close as well, so I've got to pick my battles. Got to pick my battles.
Okay.
Yes, good old
Okay.
Port Vale giant killers. I see it now.
Massive. Can't believe it. It's going to be huge.
Was it Crew?
Huge scenes.
It was Crew, wasn't it, mate? Crew with the giant killers.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually.
At
yeah.
the Stade de Loom as well.
I tell you what, Crew actually, they've turned out some players over the years, man. What an academy they've had.
Oh.
It was a Dario
actually
Gradi
have,
was
yeah.
back in charge. But
Hickey
Dario
was from there, wasn't he?
Grady,
Didn't Hickey go through Crew?
I think he did. You know,
Yeah, I think
that
he
rings
did.
a bell.
I think Hickey went
there's a
through
few
Crew.
there. I mean, David
Dario
Platt,
Grady and all
probably
that,
the
yeah.
biggest name
Yeah.
that ever
Yeah.
came through there. Like Platt
Yeah.
was a great player.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Neil Lennon was from there. The Celtic boy. Hey, he's all right.
See, this we were
Do you reckon?
Robbie Savage. Robbie Savage.
Oh, don't.
talentless.
Remember Robbie
He was Man
Savage?
United.
Talentless.
Man United.
Talentless. Do you know when I used to do a lot of I invented this. I drafted this laws of the game training course for media people, commentators and reporters and all that sort of stuff. And I'd always start with a Robbie Savage tackle, where he almost
really?
took somebody's knee out completely. So that's how much talent he had. But look, hands in the air, he made it to the professional game. So you got to give him credit for that. Okay then, maybe not. Maybe not. I think because
his son's playing now.
really,
Yeah.
Yeah, his son
Lily.
Charlie Savage now. Yeah,
where's he at?
Lily. I think he is on loan. He's a Man United youngster, but he's on loan somewhere at the moment. But he's signed for Man United. He's an 18-year-old, 17-year-old centre defensive mid.
And he keeps coming on with a wig.
Charlie Savage, yeah. No, he's-
Like Lily.
yeah,
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah. All right then. Okay.
Roy Keane's a big fan of him. Yeah.
he is actually.
Well,
Anyway.
fellas, I think we need one more of these.
What? Fact.
You've all been quiet.
What the fact?
6,000. Not Michael tickets for the match. Can you imagine?
Anyway,
Mario Balotelli.
6,000 fans.
it's not Mario Balotelli. Oh, pipe down, you. Honestly, I'm still scared about it. I'm even like spitting fire doing what the fact, and that's one of my favourite things to do. But anyway,
I've got. Can I have a
so,
go? Can I have a go?
Your first clue.
Can I have a go?
Yeah, eh?
Can I have a
Oh
go?
yeah.
I mean, you've given us the first clue.
Yeah.
2016 is when West Ham United moved out of the Berlin ground.
No, that
All
wouldn't
right.
be an interesting fact.
Well, there you go.
That's just a fact.
Okay.
That's not what the fact. That's just
Yeah.
the fact.
Well, I
That's
thought
not
we'd have a
worthy of
stab.
what the
You just
fact.
never know. You might have been so
How
hacked off
dare
with
you
your Sunderland
besmirch?
weekend. You might have just taken the easy option.
This is a game for intellectuals, Dave. You know, we're talking the great minds of this world, the likes of Daniil. You know, don't disrespect Daniil.
Who's obviously
There was a lot of D's in there.
he's extremely obvious, isn't he? By where is he? Come on, Daniil,
is he?
get
He's
on here.
conspicuous by his absence.
Daniil.
He is. Come on, Daniil. Right, maybe Daniil will get in touch on the WhatsApp number, which is, Dave.
0330-043-2002. And I said that through a
It is
mouthful
because
of
Ted
water.
hasn't remembered it.
Yeah,
That's
he did.
very good. I'm
Well
impressed.
done.
I just
Ted
taken
really
a
needs to
swig of
learn that
water.
number.
04330-043-2002 is the number to WhatsApp the studio.
Absolutely, and you might get more people taking part in this one after the next clue. So
clue
your
number
first
2.
clue was "Don't lose your head, Anne," which is Alpha November Echo. Your second clue is "Where's the other two chipmunks?"
Where's the other two chipmunks?
Yes.
Where's the other two chipmunks?
Is that a reference
Alvin?
to the two owners of West Ham United?
No.
Okay.
So, first clue, don't lose your head on. Your second clue is, where's the other 2 chipmunks?
Chipmunks?
Go on, think about 3 chipmunks. What were they called?
Is that girl that gave the finger on live news broadcast? Is her name Anne?
Nope.
You know the BBC girl? You seen that? Oof.
I've seen it, yeah.
I haven't.
Nothing to do with football,
I
though,
saw,
mate.
I saw a still image of the fingers blurred out in true BBC style. Yep,
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay.
Naughty.
The BBC tend to blur a lot of things out, like the history. Anyway, moving on.
Their impartiality. Don't lose your
absolutely.
head, Anne. And where's the other 2 chipmunks? So one of them, it's the name of one of... What is he on about? 3 chipmunks? Is that kid's
What
thing?
are the chipmunks' names?
The cartoon.
Alvin?
That's the kid thing, isn't it? Yeah, the cartoon.
Oh.
Is Alvin one? Alvin's one, right?
Alvin, West Ham. What was he called? Alvin
Martin.
Alvin Martin.
Alvin and the
May
Chipmunks.
or may not be along the right lines.
Yeah.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
That's
Enough of that for now.
He's trying to get us to
know.
stop now.
I don't know why I'm talking like a Victorian. Forsooth, we shall continue. As is my want.
So we've gone from the rant over
Redirect,
6,000 tickets to Shakespeare. Get in!
Absolutely. We are good. We are very classy, aren't we, boys? Very classy. We haven't talked Borough and we haven't talked Newcastle yet. I'm going to let you lads fight it out. Who wants to go first on that one? Because obviously you both won. You're both back to winning ways. Who wants to start and get the ball rolling?
Go on, Ray.
All right, well, I'll talk about the mighty Borough going down to Wales. What an amazing, scrappy affair this one was, lads. Now, it was pouring down with rain.
Go.
That was exactly what it was.
But that's
exactly what it was.
Railway station.
Yeah. That's what it sounded like while you were running along this waterlogged pitch. I tell you, it was that heavy was the rain. It was incredible, lads, and it was lucky that no one else got injured. One big talking point, obviously, apart from the wind, was Senny Dieng, our number 1 goalkeeper. He took a goal kick, lads, and he's fallen over as he's taken the goal kick in the pouring rain, and he was unable to get back up. Now he's grabbed his right thigh, he's up sort of his hip area, and he's hobbled off. And now Tom Glover, the mighty Australian who was our backup goalkeeper, took about 10 minutes to get ready. The poor lad wasn't expecting to come on. He wasn't dressed at all. he was rugged up, ready to go home, and had to kit up in the 90th minute to play about 2 minutes of football. But it's that was one of the sour points. But my lord, it was an incredible finish and goal set up by Sam Greenwood, the resident Mackham as well. He's on fire for us at the moment. A great pass in by Matty Crooks. Finished low by Sam Greenwood. And then the most controversial moment, Dave, comes from an indirect free kick given to the Borough after it was a pass back, deemed a pass back from Swansea. So Swansea, Borough came in from the left-hand side. They crossed in. And the Swansea defender got in first, and he just simply passed it back to the keeper. Keeper was probably blocked vision, I want to say, but it was a clear and utter pass back, and the boys knew it straight away. You could see them up in arms. Sammy Silvera and all that were straight up in arms, letting the ref know there was a pass back, and the ref agreed straight there and then. So it was an indirect free kick right on the line, lads. They put every Swansea player in the box in the goal. Morgan Rogers tapped it, and Sammy Silvera, the great Aussie, finished it low and left and made it 2-1 and managed to hold on for the rest of the afternoon. Great absolute win. We needed it. The Borough needed it. I was saying it was a crucial win because we go into Port Vale now at Carabao Cup. If we had gone into that with, another loss, especially against Swansea, who were beneath us in the table, I think you just would have seen just everyone starting just to lose the plot a little bit. Borough fans are ruthless on social media when we're not playing well, and it was just a good win for everyone, and especially for the fans that made that long trip, especially in that pouring rain. It was a horrid day out down at Swansea. But yeah, good win by the lads, good shift, and Michael Carrick got the tactics right, I think, this time around by playing Bangura on that left back. He had a stellar game for me. He was the right choice. You could see that Swansea were only going to attack down that right-hand side. So, I thought it was a great day out for the Borough. We're back to winning ways. Great tactics by my Michael Carrick, and the only sour point for me is losing Senny Dieng, which I'm worried about. We're copying Newcastle now, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, fingers crossed that it's something that can be healed pretty quickly. I'm hoping it is. But saying that, we're going to lose him. We're going to lose him in January anyway. So
true. Very true.
Glover was going to be coming in at some point. He may just be in for a handful of games more than we expected.
Glover's not available as well, right?
He's going away as well, isn't he?
He's got the Asian Cup with Australia.
Oh, yeah.
So if he gets picked up as one of the goalkeepers, which he has been for the Socceroos, he's got Asian Cup the same time as AFCON. So we lose Seni Dieng, our number one, and Tom Glover, our number two, both for international duty during that month, which is wild as well because we get Riley McGree right back then as well, Dave, and we lose him and Semi Silvera. So
he'll be as sick as a custard slice, won't he? Just getting his chance in the first team, and he's got to go away. And he can't take it.
He's got to go away. Yeah, he's got to go.
What's the extent of the Dieng injury, though? Right? Is it? Is it one of them where it might even affect his selection for AFCON?
It could do. We don't know. I mean, he walked off under his own duress. He wasn't carried off or anything. He just hobbled off, sort of thing. So, which gave me good signs that it's nothing serious when you can hobble off. But Riley McGree 2 months ago did the same thing. It was an innocuous tackle. And he sort of limped off and he said, nah, I'm fine. You could see him. He said, Carrick goes, you okay? And he nods and goes, nah, I'm all right. And we haven't seen Riley McGree since, 2 or 3 months ago now. Yeah. So, I hate to say, Seni Dieng's going to be fine. It was just, a niggle. And then Carrick comes out today and says he's out for a month or two. So, who knows with the Borough at the moment. But the injury run that we and just like Newcastle up the road, we're having a shocking run with injuries this season. So we couldn't have asked for a worse one to go down with Seni Dieng. So I think Tom Glover would have played anyway this week at Port Vale in the Carabao Cup. Tom Glover started every game for the Borough in Carabao Cup. So I think Tom Glover probably would have started there anyway. So it gives Seni Dieng a bit of a breather there for me anyway. But it'll be interesting come next weekend. Who will line up against West Brom because. We're starting to get a bit thin. Thin. So,
good win though, because that's a tough place. All joking aside, it is a very tough place to go. That and to come away with an away win. There's not too many teams will do that this season. They're a good side, well organised.
No, we did very well,
and a couple of ex-Borough boys in the team as well. There's always that they'll one sat on the bench. There's always that likelihood that somebody's going to come back and haunt you. You know what it's like in football, fellas. It always happens, isn't it? That one you let go scores the goal that puts you, put you behind or whatever. But can I get my rant over? Am I allowed to get my rant over?
Go on.
What on earth is Alan Sheeran, the Swansea manager, going on about the back pass? I mean, he's talking absolute nonsense. This is what he had to say about it, right? It was a crazy decision. Whether it's right or wrong, it's a big call. I'm not a referee, obviously. Is it an interception or a back pass? Carl Rushworth is one of the best keepers in the league with the ball at his feet. For him to think he can pick it up tells me enough. So he's basing a decision from the referee on his keeper picking the ball up. If he's picked it up, it must be wrong. Let me just clarify this, because the reason why it really grips my bits is... managers and players have got a great platform to speak their minds, and many of them do and get themselves into trouble. Arteta got away with it. And people believe them. People believe them. So first and foremost, mate, there's nothing in the game about a back pass. It is a ball that is played by a teammate that the goalkeeper picks up. So it doesn't have to be a back pass. It's just a ball that is played by your teammate intentionally and you pick it up. Rye, you were watching the game. Was that ball played intentionally by the defender in this case? Did he play the ball?
Yep.
Did the keeper pick it up?
Yep.
Stick that in your pipe, Sheenan, and smoke it.
He did.
It doesn't have to be a back pass. Back pass is nowhere in the laws of the game. Everybody believes it's a back pass to the keeper. Oh, it wasn't a back pass to the keeper. He meant to play it. Do you know, if a centre-half plays the ball across just inside the edge of the penalty area to his fullback on the opposite side, but under hits it, and a striker's bearing down and is going to run and get the ball, and the keeper throws himself on the ball and saves it, it's still a free kick to the attackers. I know it wasn't a back pass. It doesn't have to be a back pass. And it's the same we had 10 years ago with Alan Hansen, who on Match of the Day said, oh, the referee has to add on 30 seconds for every substitution. And ever since he opened his Scottish trap, all referees at the end of the game get players going, but you haven't added 30 seconds on for every substitution, referee. He doesn't have to. Where else in the world, in the line of business, in the line of careers, jobs, can the people at the top be so ignorant of the rules that they have to operate under?
It's disgusting, isn't it?
Radio,
Stand with it.
I stopped while I was ahead. I stopped.
Ted, I can only say one thing.
It's embarrassing. It is
Absolutely.
That's what it is. A disgrace.
Thank you, Randover.
It was.
Ref was right. Ref was
I
right.
think we need
The
to-
Swansea manager should
We
be
need to
beaten
unleash
with a
Dave
stick.
more often.
Yeah, we do. I like that. I like that segment.
I like Radio
Get in.
Dad rants. I think
Yeah.
that's now going to be a thing. It's got to be a thing.
Yeah. And good morning to Alan
to
Sheehan
lighten the
who's
mood,
tuning in.
Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. We've got a WhatsApp.
Oh, is that on?
We've got a WhatsApp. I'm just trying to see. It's Jack. Jack with a WhatsApp.
Oh, Jack.
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning, Jack.
Morning, Jack.
Good morning, Jack.
Morning, Jack.
Does it have anything to do with Thierry Henry?
No.
What the
He
fact?
definitely wasn't one of the chickmunks, was he?
I do like his previous post from the other day. He's posted a gif of Mr. Blobby. But that was the other day. I can't claim it's this morning, but there you go. Right, 0330 043 2002. If you've got any idea of what the fact.
Or you're a
Do
Swansea
you want the
fan.
third clue before we get Steve's joke?
Do you want another clue before Steve's joke?
Go for it.
Yeah, go on.
Okay then.
Okay, so
let's
you
do
had
it.
your first clue, which was you had your first clue, which was don't lose your head, Anne.
Berlin. It's got something to do with West Ham.
Yes, if you say so. The second clue was where's the other two chipmunks?
I think Rye dug into the annals of children's TV and came out with Alvin the Chipmunk.
I did.
And then
Alvin.
Steve came out with West Ham Alvin Martin. It's got something to do with Alvin Martin.
Your
three.
third clue is hammered the old record.
Well, there's your Hammers reference. Right? Alvin the
I'm not
Chipmunks.
saying anything.
How many appearances did Alvin Martin have for West Ham?
I got no idea. No idea. I can Google it.
Hammered.
Not that I would, though.
Oh, no. Do you know what? Give it away. I actually did a VAR. Because I'm sad
did
and
a
I need a
VAR.
hobby, right? I actually went back over that show and I listened to the podcast and I could tell by the way Rye was talking. I think it was in the 60s when this happened. They're like, mate, your general knowledge is not that good. You are a charlatan and an actress.
I knew it.
You did not know that.
I knew it. I did.
Every single time I've
did.
done a what the fact, honestly, there's been a sound of tumbleweeds across your mic. And all of a sudden he's become the world's aficionado on 1960s football.
Sometimes I can surprise you. That's what my wife says, all right?
Stop it.
Sometimes.
Stop
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Okay, get in there.
Exactly. But I did
Fisticuffs
actually go
at
back
dawn.
and listen to the show. Who's Dawn?
But she likes fisticuffs. Better than saying handcuffs.
But yes,
Yes,
indeed. We've gone kinky again. There you go.
Yeah, we have.
Right, Steve. Before
Yes.
we get to the sponsor, we've got to have Steve's joke.
I'm ready, lads.
Get in.
I'll get rid of
You
what
ready?
the fact. I'll get rid of what
Gather
the
round.
fact has gone. Mind you, I
Okay,
can't get
what the fact's
Daz's things. Daz has switched off. I
probably doesn't
I think
want
he
you
doesn't
to.
like us. No, I think he's switched off his sound effects.
Yeah, he's blocked you.
He's getting very precious over things like that, isn't he? Is it because I called him?
Don't touch his buttons.
They've gone.
Don't touch his buttons. Simple as that. I'm with you, Daz.
Have they really?
Don't let him touch your buttons.
Yeah, all
Has
I've
Daz taken his
got's a
ball?
drum roll. That's all I've got. A drum roll. There you go. Steve, go on then.
very
Hit us with your joke, mate. Hit us with your
We
joke.
all like a turkey for Christmas, lads. So it's a turkey joke today. What do you call it when a family passes down a turkey recipe?
Ooh.
What do you call it when a family passes down a turkey recipe? Go on then.
Copy and pasting.
Oh, gosh. That's actually really good.
It is actually, isn't it?
I'm actually going to use that today. It's that crap. It's brilliant. I'm actually going to use that today.
I like that a lot.
I love it. I actually really like that.
Oh, Christmas crackers tomorrow, lads.
Is this like
That's a good one.
Is this like
That's a good
Stockholm
Monday
syndrome?
one.
Because
Yeah.
we're listening to more and more of these jokes, and they're becoming more acceptably funny. Is that because we're being held hostage and we're just getting used to it?
You've just had such a bad weekend, Ted, as a Mackem, that those jokes are just going to lighten your mood. You could have said anything, mate, and you would have just laughed, mate.
Dear me.
Oh, Daz has gotten in touch. Dave. Daz has gotten in touch via the WhatsApp.
What?
And he's saying, you're in trouble. He knows what he's telling you. You've made a mistake.
I've opened it, but it doesn't give me anything. He's giving me instructions
I'll
to the.
tell you
He's
what,
giving me this.
barking instructions there, isn't he? That's a bit
There he
fierce.
is, yeah.
I know.
There's no punctuation. There's no smiley face. Open Chrome. Wow.
Yeah.
I've
Open
opened Chrome. How do you get into
You
history
daft
on
is what I
Chrome?
was gonna
I'm a
read.
Mac man. How do you get into history?
Oh, geez, don't open the history on the work computer.
Oh my goodness, what's he been looking
Who's
at?
crumbled his ginger?
What's he been looking at?
Oh, no.
Debbie what? Dallas. All right.
Daz, you can't look at that at work, and they definitely shouldn't have tentacles.
Oh, it's research for the eclipse in April. Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
the tour
yeah,
guide in Dallas. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. Well done. Yeah, good research, Daz. I'm standing by you.
Yeah, but those dolls are getting really lifelike now, aren't they? Anyway,
Oh, guys, I'm about to have a coughing fit. I tell you what,
no.
we haven't done the club news, have we?
No,
we haven't.
We haven't spoken about Newcastle either.
And we've got the
great
spot to
flying
come.
knee.
I tell you what, we've got
the Geordies to
we've got
talk
9
about as
minutes
well.
of club news and adverts and sport and all sorts of stuff going on here. We're never going to get off. Let's start with a bit of Steve. Are you ready, Steve?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Magpies and Proud. Mags News.
Good morning, Newcastle fans. Tickets for the FA Cup game against Sunderland are going on sale at 10 o'clock this morning. The initial point requirement's been set at 45. That'll drop for the first time at 4 o'clock today. Ticket prices have been set at £32 for adults over 65s, £29, under 22s, £24, and for under 16s it is £14, which is significantly lower than the original proposals, which were correctly rejected. 6,000 tickets allocated to us, 700 in the corporates. The Black Cat Lounge has been given to the Newcastle fans, and it is a bubble game, which means Newcastle fans will be shepherded down to the Stadium of Light in approximately 70 double-decker buses. You must make sure that you get on the bus, otherwise you will not be going to the game. As for the first team, well, Newcastle United made it 7 home wins out of 7 with a comprehensive 3-0 win against 10-man Fulham. Raul Jimenez was sent off in the 22nd minute for a foul on Longstaff. Fulham were upset at the decision, suggesting Lascelles should have been punished for an elbow in the build-up to the incident. It then took the home side 57 minutes to break the Cottagers down, and it was Lewis Miley with a cool finish to give his team the lead, and in the process becoming the youngest player to score for the Toon in the Premier League. Further goals from Dan Burn and Miguel Miron rounded off the win. The 3 points, though, may have come at a cost, with both Fabian Schär and Joe Linton being withdrawn with injuries. Eddie Howe will be assessing his players today ahead of the Carabao Cup quarter-final match at Chelsea tomorrow. There was some good news at the weekend with the return of Sven Botman, who managed 6-minute club sub-role against Fulham. And Friday brought the news that Harvey Barnes and Joe Willock have both had minor setbacks and won't return to the first team squad until January. And congratulations to Newcastle United's women's team, who had an emphatic 11-3 home win against AFC Flyde yesterday. Well done, girls. That's Newcastle United headlines on Monday morning.
Smoggies and Proud. Borough News.
Good morning, Borough fans, you beautiful bunch of Borough fans. Middlesbrough got back to winning ways with a scrappy 2-1 victory over Swansea in Wales on Saturday. And what could only be described as the rains down in Africa. The slip and slide affair was decided when a pass back to Swansea keeper was then picked up, resulting in an indirect free kick. Sammy Silveira, finishing a low shot after the setup from Rogers, completed the 2-1 victory after another magnificent Greenwood finish, and what a pass from Croopsy. The only worry to come to the Borough was the 90th minute when Seny Dieng went down after taking a goal kick. and could not continue, with what looked to be a right thigh issue, Seni Dieng hobbled off to be replaced by Tom Glover. It adds to Middlesbrough's concerning list of injuries, and there will once again probably be a call-up for the big Aussie Rye to come over in goals against Port Vale, but I'm ready to go. And Michael Carrick has told Callum Kavanagh he'll be in business if the striker continues his prolific goal-scoring form. The young striker impressed for the Middlesbrough under-21s and scored every goal in a 4-0 win over Crystal Palace last week, with his dazzling showing there being rewarded with his first call-up against Swansea this weekend. Kavanagh, who is the son of former Borough midfielder Graham, was included on the bench at Swansea, and although he didn't get on the pitch, Carrick said the youngster will have benefited enormously from being around the squad. And just finally, Middlesbrough could be set to hand a January lifeline to the out-of-favour Nottingham Forest defender Joe Worrell. Borough also been heavily linked with Joe Worrell for a couple of months now. Borough are now keen to offer Joe Worrell an initial loan deal. He is prepared to turn it into a permanent switch if we get promoted to the Premier League this season. So, Joe Worrell could be in.
A bit of a mess of that one at the end, right?
Black Cats News.
I ruined it!
Stop it, you lot. I'm recording these to play out later on the radio stations.
I'll start again.
Okay, then you're going to start again. Good lad. Hang on a second. Hang on. We'll do it properly then if you're going to start again.
Okay, let's go again.
Mackins and proud. Black Cats News.
Good morning, Sunderland fans. Welcome back after a bit of a tragic weekend, really, for Sunderland, but there we go. Anger, frustration, unacceptable, moments of complete and utter madness were the words from Mike Dodds after defeat at Ashton Gate on Saturday. If, as expected, Sunderland's defeat at Bristol City does turn out to be Mike Dodds' swan song as interim head coach, he did not hold back in his post-match press conference. His previous 2 games in charge had seen the Black Cats earn impressive home victories against playoff rivals West Brom and automatic promotion hopefuls Leeds United. However, the lads were wasteful in front of goal yet again and conceded a blatant penalty due to sloppy play at the back, resulting in Anthony Patterson upending Robbins, Taylor, Gardner-Hickman and Tommy Conroy converted from the spot. As you heard earlier, Sky Sports claimed on Friday that Sunderland are close to appointing former QPR and Rangers head coach Michael Beale to replace Tony Mowbray. The prospective announcement has been met with a very mixed response by fans who feel that the move for Beale, who was sacked by Glasgow Rangers while taking them to 3rd place in the SPL, isn't any better than what the club had in Tony Mowbray, and even fear it may be a backward step. Nothing official from Sunderland themselves just yet, but it's thought a new man will be in the dugout in time for the visit of Coventry City this weekend. And finally, popular football website Team Talk has claimed 3 Premier League heavyweights are ready to go up against Real Madrid in order to secure the signature of Joe Bellingham. Leaving Sunderland for the Premier League would be a strong pull for Bellingham, and while the Black Cats will clearly have a high valuation of the player, this won't be a problem for those competing at the top end of the top flight. Liverpool are the side most in need of a holding midfielder and were a long-time admirer of his brother Jude before his move to Real, and may see Job as a worthy alternative and a long-term option to deputise in the middle of the pitch. Both Liverpool and Arsenal are likely to be competing in the Champions League next season, whereas Chelsea, the other suitor, may have their work cut out to break into the top 4 over the next 5 or 6 months. This could well influence Bellingham's decision if it's needed, but regardless, it will be hard for Sunderland to keep him at the Stadium Light if a bid comes in. And there are your Monday headlines.
Ted, Rye and Steve, the North East Footy Breakfast.
Right across the Northeast, the Red, the Cat and the Tin.
WhatsApp alert. We've had more WhatsApps coming in. Oh, yes.
no.
They're flying in on 0330 043 2002. First and foremost, Jack wanted to explain the suggested answer that he put forward. Thierry is Theodore in French, and Henri, the 8th. Don't lose your Anne, your head, Anne. So that was his line of thinking. Very
Wow.
good.
Good thinking, Jack.
Jeez.
But it was still wrong. But there
Jack,
you go.
that's almost too highbrow for this lot, mate.
far
But
too
me and
intelligent.
Jack could. I think me and Jack could share a glass of Rioja and talk about intelligent things. Definitely,
Yeah.
he's classy.
And
he's classy,
second,
but it's wrong.
Daniil has weighed in.
My nemesis.
Legend.
My nemesis.
Yes. But I think
My
he's got-
supervillain arch enemy.
But I think
Here
he's got
he
it
is.
wrong. I think he's got it wrong. Good morning, Footy
no.
Breakfast crew. Good morning, Daniil.
Morning,
Morning,
Daniel.
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 What the fact guess? Is it Billy Bonds?
It's not. It's not.
I think it's got something to do.
no.
I think it's got something to do
no.
with Alvin Martin breaking a West Ham record. It's got to do with Alvin Martin breaking a West Ham record.
He played in that game against Newcastle.
Martin, yeah.
He played in that game against Newcastle. I remember. I was speaking about it on the podcast a while back about the game that Newcastle had 3 keepers in the game. We got beat 8-1, and Martin Thomas was in goal. Went off at half time with an injury. Chris Hedworth went in, the right back. He got an injury, and then Peter Beardsley went in goal. We lost 8-1, but I mean that's not the answer. I'm just thinking that was the era
Yes, it
that
is.
Alvin Martin. What?
Yes, it is.
Shut up.
That is the answer.
Steve, you absolutely nailed it through the centre, mate. I'm very impressed.
Stevie!
I do not. That wasn't. I don't believe it because I was trying to work out the. I was actually trying to work out the time.
Steve's hit a cross. He sliced it and it's gone in the top corner.
Oh,
That's typical of me. That's typical of me.
Yes! Get in!
Yes, Steve.
Woo!
Absolutely.
Googled, mate. Well Googled.
Sorry, Ted. Honestly, and that wasn't even. I wasn't even a guess.
Oh, get in! We've got it. We've got it.
If it's been said, mate, it gets said.
Gamble, let's gamble.
I'm just pressing
The
every
whole
button.
fact was
Flying
that
as
in
we
19...
So
In
what was your
1986, central defender and Alvin Martin helped himself to a hat-trick in an 8-1 trouncing of Newcastle United at Upton Park. If that wasn't unusual enough, all 3 of his goals were scored against different goalkeepers, and former England forward Peter Beardsley was the keeper for the 3rd one. Well done, Steve. That's absolutely nailed. That, mate. It's 4-3.
Yes.
It's back on.
Is that 4-3? Is that 4-3 now?
It is.
Is it really?
Oh,
And
come on,
we
fellas.
lose him Thursday, Friday. So we're going to have to get another What the Fact. We're going to have to.
But you know
Well,
what?
we've got the Christmas Day show as well.
Well, if ever we get to do it.
very
If ever we
true.
get to do it.
True.
I just hit the microphone in all excitement because we've got to come up with we're so close. We've got to come up with a forfeit.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
we
do.
do.
You do have to
Yeah, we
come up
do.
with a forfeit, or otherwise
do.
it's 50 quid to the
yes.
Academy of Light.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think of F1 and Danny Rick and Cyril, or whatever his name was, who was in charge of Renault at the time, you know, he had to get a tattoo. What could we make him do?
See, I love my ink. I don't know whether you knew that, but I do love
We
my
saw
ink.
that, yeah. And I think NUFC,
Yeah. You get,
like-
You mean
NUFC
you
in a
saw
love
that?
heart would fit perfectly on your left
No,
chest.
no, come on.
MB in a love heart. MB.
On his forehead.
MB.
Yeah,
MB.
on his forehead.
In a
yeah.
love heart. Michael Beale. Michael Beale.
Yeah.
In a love heart. Michael Beale. Yeah.
I'll never get a name tattooed on me, mate. No, there's not a chance. I've got all sorts on there. I've got the Millennium Falcon even, but I'm not having anybody's name on there.
Oh, yes. Good shout.
Wookie
Well done.
written next to it. Jack's been back on and he said, "Well played, Steve." So yeah.
Yes,
Thank you.
aye, absolutely, mate. That's
Yeah.
class.
Yeah.
It was a good.
Yeah,
It was
the
good
last
teamwork,
clue.
mind. It was good teamwork because I would never have gone from those first 2 clues with the West Ham. So it was the whole.
I
Alvin
think you
thing.
would have got it with the last clue, to be honest, because the last clue was, is this a hat-trick or a triple?
Ah, right.
And I think you probably would have got it for that, like, because you were already there with Alvin Martin. But that's honestly, mate, the sound. I know that was genuine because the sound of disbelief when that one went in.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Rye.
Definitely.
Not like Rye, who was faking his knowledge of 1960s football. I do believe it was in the year of our Lord 1961.
I was gonna dip in actually. I was gonna say, yeah, I remember that game well. I was just a young tucker watching it with me old man, and no.
You weren't even born. It was 2 years before you were born.
How do you know when he was born?
Thanks, Facebook. Because
I
I
was
know
there.
because of
I was there.
Facebook. He's on Facebook now, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
I am.
Yeah, he's
I am on
Bookface.
Facebook.
Oh,
I did.
hey, get this. So I made a comment on there saying, "Oh my God, not here as well, for the love of Christ," or something like that, you know. And guess who reacted with a laughing emoji to me?
The king.
Regards, Mick.
Regards, Mick.
Regards, Mick.
Regards, Mick thinks I'm funny. That's even better than Mrs. Ted thinking Rye's funny. That's great.
I blocked him. I've blocked him now. I blocked him. I had enough of him.
He
That's
messaged me back
disgusting.
saying, "Love, Dad."
No, he didn't. He messaged you back saying, "Love, Dad. Regards, Mick."
Yes, that's it. Yeah, that'd be much better.
He probably would have as well.
Does the old man
But you know it's
listen?
him.
Is the old man listen right?
Yeah, he does.
Oh,
He does.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Mick, how are you,
Big fan,
mate?
Big fan.
G'day, Mick.
Regards, Mick.
Hi, Mick.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
brilliant.
down the coast in his caravan. Does it always every time
Oh,
this year at
very
Christmas.
nice.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
fantastic.
gets away from family and hides
Far,
away in his
far away
caravan.
from you.
Which of the three stations does he listen
A good
to, right?
7 hours.
This is the test. Which of the three?
You know, he's a
started
Spurs
listening to the
fan.
Cats
Did you know
on the
that?
weekend.
He's a Spurs fan, right? And he was born in Manchester, all right? So I'm going to out him here, right? He was born in Manchester and he's a Spurs fan because when he was at school in England, his headmaster, right, used to cane him, right? And he was a big Tottenham fan. And he said, well, you know, his headmaster, if he's a Tottenham fan and he rules the roost, I better be a Tottenham fan to get on side with him. So he became a Tottenham fan when he was a young lad to stop getting the cane so he could talk Tottenham. So he's a Tottenham fan.
Wow.
That would be
Born
called
in
bullying
Manchester.
this day and age. Yeah,
Yeah,
indeed.
I was gonna say,
I know,
mate.
right? Yeah, yeah, that's
Crikey.
his story, and yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
We've got to
He's
get
a big
Mick on the
sports
show
lover.
one day.
We've got to get him on, yeah.
Get a dad show, mate.
Yeah.
Get a dad show, definitely. You get all
Well,
the
it's
dads
been
on.
hard for mine, mate. Mine's been dead about 12 years. Like,
Okay, well, yeah.
if my dad comes on the show, I'll be really worried.
Mine
We
the
can
same.
find one.
Mine the same
We
nose
can
one,
find
but we
one.
could have a séance on air or
Okay.
something like that,
We
mate.
can
We can,
find
yeah,
them.
yeah,
We can
indeed.
find them.
Just walk
Alan
down the
Robson's
street.
doing out these
Wicked
days. Let's
actors.
get him on.
I used to imagine walking down the street now. Are you a dad? Yeah, you'll do. Grab. Yeah.
Aye, that's it. That's it. Bloody hell.
Anyway,
Right,
Newcastle's
anyway.
win. Newcastle's win.
Yes,
What a
that's how
win.
it, Steve.
Good win.
Great performance.
Great performance, lads. And to be honest, you know, it was one of those games which, you know, we were going into with a little bit of trepidation. I predicted a 1-1 draw on Friday, and I just felt that Fulham, on a good run of form, could be a big test for us. Obviously, you know, the injuries and suspensions and the like, we're going to play that part once again. Kieran Trippier missing out because he was on 5 yellow cards. And we knew we'd have enough to give them a game, but it was just, for me, you know, the whole pressure as well of potentially getting another win, 7 wins on the trot. You just don't know how this team was going to cope either from the backlash of the 3 defeats. You know, when you get into that little rut, it's hard to get out of it. But yeah, I mean, I think we'd all agree that the game did change on 22 minutes. As soon as a team goes down to 10 men, it becomes, you know, either an unfair advantage for you as the home team, or it becomes one of those games where, you know, the opposition can benefit from it, and, you know, it becomes a more difficult game. But it took a while. It was a reckless, you know, it was described, I think, by many media outlets as a reckless assault on Sean Longstaff. I mean, what Raul Jimenez was thinking of, I really don't know. Obviously VAR got involved, and it was upgraded to a red because he was prompted to check his pitch side monitors by the VAR official Michael Salisbury. I've never seen a player as angry because he wasn't happy at all. He was claiming he'd been elbowed by Jamal Lascelles just before the incident, and of course their manager at the end of the game was that was his line. He was going on about that, you know, constantly to all the media and everybody who would listen to him. But, you know, for me, it was a correct dismissal. It was needless, the challenge that he put in, and luckily Sean Longstaff wasn't injured from it. He's as hard as goat's knees, Sean Longstaff, and he came away from that unscathed, which was great. Fabian Schär, though, and Joe Linton both limped off during the first half. It looked like hamstring issues, but they were both very sensible. It's clear what instruction these players have been given. If you feel tightness in any, you know, any muscle, stop, go down and ask for treatment. And, you know, they both went down early. I think that will benefit them. I would be surprised if we don't see at least one of those back on Tuesday night. We hit the crossbar in the first half. Anthony Gordon, player of the season for me so far, hit the crossbar. Sean Longstaff had one blocked. Newcastle really took the advantage, you know, with the extra man. But it wasn't until the second half that, you know, Newcastle took the lead, and it was Lewis Miley. You know, a loud roar at St James's Park greeted this goal because, you know, the youngster is really just proved to be a wonderful asset in a time when we're struggling for first team players. He took the goal as if he was, an established Premier League pro, and I just loved the celebration. The lads, surrounded him. Bruno in particular, and him have really hit it off. But it was just great to see, him getting the applause. His interview after the game was wonderful as well. He's enjoying it, and why not? The other 2 goals scored. I was delighted to see Miguel Almiron get a goal. He's had a bit of stick on social media of some of our fans. As soon as we lose a game or two, the fans are on his back on social media. Not that I'm sure that it bothers Miggy, but lovely to see him get a goal. And then a wonderful chip in by Bruno for Dan Burns' goal to give us a 3-0 win. I think it was a fair reflection on the game. Would it have been any different if they hadn't had a man sent off? Who knows? But I'm not bothered. It got us back on. It got us back on the winning way. 7 wins at home in a row since 2002-2003, which is it's a great testament to the lads. Their away form is poor, but the home form is second to none at this moment in time. And good 3 points. Concerned about the injuries, of course, but Newcastle are just taking it game by game. Sven Botman's back. He had 6 minutes on Saturday, and he will be available, of course, for tomorrow night's Carabao Cup quarter-final game. And it's going to be an interesting period going into Christmas. We are out of Europe, but we have got some big games coming up. Special mention to the supporters as well, as always, getting behind the team. But a new Jason Tyndall song was given an airing. It's a version of Last Christmas, which was fantastic. So Tyndall loved that as he was doing his walk around with the players and with the coach and staff. But all in all, a very happy day for Newcastle United supporters, and takes us down to Chelsea tomorrow in good spirits, and hopefully with an opportunity to get into a second semi-final of the Carabao Cup in 2 consecutive seasons.
The story that came out the weekend, which really put a smile on my face when you're talking Miley, was the fact that Newcastle's safeguarding officer has had to check in with the young lad just to make sure that everything's okay and the squad's being nice to him. It's fantastic. Oh, the poor kid's so young and innocent, isn't he? Yeah.
I tell you what, you look at the post-match interview where they had Dan Burn and him next to him, and Dan Burn looked like a proud dad standing next to him. Obviously, Dan Burn, the towering defender, looked like, and he just put his arm around him, and they were doing the interview. But it was really good to see, and obviously, being 17 years old, what a future! It just gives you what excitement to be able to score it, at that level. And yeah, 17 years old. He's been a very, very good sensation. And he probably would have never got a game, albeit from all these injuries. So, he probably is a year or 2 away, because a full fit Newcastle team, Lewis Miley's probably not anywhere near it. And, and he's just taking his chances.
Well, they've got to get him out the side now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They've got to get him out the side. I honestly
when
think
they come back, good luck.
He's the best product I've seen to come out that youth system in a long time, Steve. And I mean,
100%.
He's exciting. He's very exciting.
You look through history when you've had the likes of Gaza, Waddle came through as a young lad there, Beardsley, all that lot, and I don't think there's anything stopping Lewis Miley from hitting those heights, because he just looks so confident and so assured. He's one of them where he never looks under pressure, and I love this about midfielders especially. Good midfielders look like they've got all the time in the world, and he has that little bit of magic about him.
Yeah, agreed. And speaking of reaching those heights, Raul Jimenez, what it looked like an awful kung fu kick is all I can describe it as. I don't know what he was thinking, but that was one of the worst tackles that I have ever seen.
I can't believe it went to VAR.
It was. I can't believe he showed a yellow. I can't believe he showed a yellow for it. I mean, the height he got off that ground, and his right hip hit Longstaff in the face. It was incredible. And he's just gone, nah, it's yellow. You know what I mean? I can't believe it. So, yeah, honestly, Bruce. Incredible. Incredible scenes there. And, he's just lucky that Sean Longstaff didn't get a broken cheekbone or anything, because a hip to the face, my goodness me.
There are rumours when he was flying through the air, he was making noises like, Hooah!
It was stupid and very dangerous by Jimenez. It was a definite red card. So Very good. But yeah, no, very good to see them. I predicted a 3-2 victory for Newcastle, but down to 10 men, they got the 3 goals that I said. I predicted 1-0 over Bristol City as well. So Messiah Rise here. I did say 4-0 to the Borough. But look, I was close. I was 2 off. So look, I'm coming in my own. I'm coming in my own.
You were 3 off. 3 off. Swansea scored as well.
It was.
Love the maths.
I didn't know how heavy the rain was going to be. Okay, I didn't know the weather. All right, I would have said 2-1 if I knew the rain was.
You
heavy.
heard of girly maths? This is rye maths.
Well done to Sam.
Did you see the WhatsApp group last night?
Yes, I did.
Did you see the WhatsApp group?
Yes.
Him trying to explain the time difference.
Yeah.
What the hell was that about?
I was cracking up over that.
It's an hour behind, but I'm 12 hours forward.
Yeah,
but Ted's 2 hours ahead of GMT, and I'm like, what is he talking about?
It was an Open University question, wasn't it? It was an exam question from the Open University. If Ted is 2 hours ahead of GMT, Rye is 11 hours ahead of GMT.
The answer's Mario Balotelli.
Yeah, indeed, absolutely. Oh, Daz has come in and gone out again.
Well done to Sam Barrett, the referee of the Newcastle game as well, because I mentioned on the show on Friday, this is his first season. He's only 30 years of age. He's from Yorkshire. It's his first season in the Premier League, and only his 8th game in the Premier League. That's his first red card, by the way, but well done to him. He had a good game. The sign of a good referee. He stuck by his decisions. He made some good ones. He let the game flow. But overall, I thought Barrett was good. And not one criticism I saw on social media, other than Fulham, of course. But Newcastle's. I thought he did well. So it's good to see new officials coming through. We often talk about the lack of officials coming into the game, but there's a new one. And first appearance at St James's Park, I thought he did very well.
Yeah, agreed. And there's no way, if you're a Fulham supporter and you're listening in, that you can argue with that red card. I'm sorry, you've got nothing to stand on. Just like Jimenez had no legs on the ground.
We're known for our ranks of Fulham supporters, aren't we?
Yeah.
They just weren't happy. They just weren't happy. They said Lascelles had done well, but it was more down to that. It was more down to that.
Those Fulham rants come in between the caviar and the champagne breakfast. That's where it is.
Well, you would know.
I love you too, my man.
Has Daz come back in or not?
Daz has come back in, yeah, but he's turned his back on the microphone. He doesn't want to talk to you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is he still got the monk on with me? Where's all the special effects as well? Where's all the sound effects going, Daz?
I'm so sorry. Good morning, gentlemen. How are we doing?
Good morning, mate. Good morning.
Morning. How are you, mate?
Got it up, mate. I got it up. After you
well done, Dave. Did you have one of them blue tablets?
After you search.
It's been one of those mornings, hasn't it?
It has, hasn't it? Yeah.
Darren walks in and all of a sudden he's got it up. That's brilliant. That's what you want to hear. Got to keep that job somehow, Daz.
Oh, come on, fellas. Anyway. No smuts. Yes,
hey, it was implied. It's whatever you make of it.
Hey, mate. I was concerned when I started, going through the old Chrome search history, and I saw the words Debbie and Dallas. It's like, what's going on here?
We'll have a stiff drink and move on, lads.
Hey!
I tell you what, these cracker jokes to get even better, Steve. I'm loving it.
Great win at the weekend for us, yeah.
Wasn't it, mate?
We didn't play very well, but to scrape the win out, I think was superb. What happened to Sunderland? I don't know. Did Sunderland?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no.
What happened to Sunderland?
I'm not going
to quiet now, is it?
I'm not going to bite. No, I'm not going to bite. Apparently, if the Northern Echo's to be believed, Michael Beale's still very much in the frame, so you might hear a bit more of me tomorrow if that's
Yeah, I'm reading now on social media that it's either today or tomorrow he's being announced. Yep. So we are in for a great week of football this week, I tell you. It's in the lead up to Christmas. My Christmas has come early thanks to Sunderland, because they've given us the best gift of all, an angry Ted. And I can't thank you enough, Sunderland, because this is just the content we needed to lead into Christmas. I love it. Today I sat back and just had popcorn for the first 40 minutes of the show, Daz. It was fantastic. I just sat back in the middle of the win and just loved it. No, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was your scene, and you took it well. I was very proud of you. Obviously,
you read the piece I put out, and it was quite lengthy as well. It took a while to put together.
It was.
And obviously there was ranting about various things about the club, but A mate of mine actually just messaged me back saying there's an iconic line in there where I refer to Charlie Methven, the former owner, as the salmon trouser wearing ponce, which he absolutely just out of everything that I wrote, that apparently was the iconic line: salmon trousered wearing ponce. Yeah, but there you go.
Tell you what, though,
things will get better.
he would have taken the offer of an hour or two on the Cat radio station to chat to fans. He would have done it.
Yeah. Well,
with his salmon trousers.
And I'll try and reach out through the channels
to.
that I've got, if you can as well. Somebody from the club needs to explain what the hell is going on, because honestly, right now, they're making us a joke, and the disrespect of the fans is absolutely, ridiculous.
If Beale comes in to brings his backroom staff and Dodds loses his job, my goodness me. That's all I'm going to say. I
don't think they'll allow that, because the model is that we have to employ. Yeah, the model is that we have to employ a first team coach, which obviously Dodds, Procky are as well. I don't think you can get a gig for our place unless you're called Mike, actually, because we've got Michael Dodds.
It's great breakfast show, mate. Mike in the morning.
Mike in the morning. Just copying our Steve and Steve, you know?
Yeah.
Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, gentlemen.
It is, and I think with there, fellas, we're done and dusted. Tomorrow, will it be all about a Sunderland arrival, or will it be about getting ready for Borough being the only North East representative in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup? Who knows?
Ooh, yes. Get in, Borough. Get in.
Just to put you all in a nice, warm, fuzzy mood, I'll say goodbye with this. See you, fellas.
Have a good one.
Bye.
See you, lads.
Have a good day.
Have a good one, Daz.